Hi Tom, it's Mike here from Pulse Therapy. I have a question for you about shin splints. Now, quite a lot of people come to me at this time of year as the ground begins to turn from hard to soft, and outdoor athletes in particularly come to me with complaints of shin splints. Now, whilst this is a very large umbrella of terms used to describe conditions in the lower legs, I want to try and figure out your tips and tricks to help athletes empower themselves from a proactive point of view rather than coming to me for a reactive stance and therapy, usually after the problem has started and maybe quite inset. So anything you've got to share with us which would make my life a little bit easier and also empower athletes to start looking after themselves a little bit more during the summer and getting themselves ready for this transition into autumn and winter groundwork, much appreciated. Thanks very much for your time, Tom.
Hey Mike, cheers for that. That is a good question, and I'll do my best to answer it the best I can. Now, like Mike said, shin splints cover a vast umbrella of different ailments, different pains, different niggles, that sort of thing. So basically I'm going to go through the main causes, what's generally the main causes of shin splints. Again, hopefully that'll be enough to help you. If it's not, then just message me with your specific kind of shin splint that you're experiencing, and I'll see what I can do and see if I can help you specifically. Okay? Now, if you see me keep looking down, because this covers such a vast thing and there's some stuff that I want to get through, I made some notes, otherwise I'm never going to remember everything I want to say. So I just made some notes and they're down here. So if you wonder why I keep looking down, it's because I'm just going to read my notes to remind myself where I was and what I'm saying. Now, shin splints. Now, generally they're due to a muscular imbalance of some kind. Okay. Now, this can be a deficiency in the deep abdominal wall. Okay, a weakness in the deep abdominal wall, which is called visceral somatic inhibition. Okay. Now, how do we get visceral somatic inhibition or weakness in the deep abdominal wall? Now, this can be caused through eating shitty foods. It can come from a flora balance in the colon. It can come from taking medication. For example, maybe you've had an illness where you've had to take quite a high dosage of antibiotics, and that's just knocked out your deep abdominal wall, weakened it, and you've never quite recovered from that, or you've never done exercises that are going to strengthen your deep abdominal wall again. This can also come from drinking too much alcohol. It can come from eating gluten, processed foods, and hundreds of other reasons why you may get visceral somatic inhibition or weakness in the deep abdominal wall. Now, when you get visceral somatic inhibition, this may cause, not necessarily definitely, but it could cause what's called an anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so I haven't got a board to draw it on, so I'll show you an anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so as you see, my pelvis my posture's not too bad. Pelvis is pretty straight, but if I had an anterior pelvic tilt, my pelvis would be tilted backwards. Okay, or it'd be tilted forwards even. Sorry, it'd be up at the back, down at the front. Okay, so the weakness is allowing the pelvis to tip. Okay, because if you've got weakness in your abdominals, because your abdominals, what they do is they connect the lower rib cage to the top of the pelvis. Okay, and all their job is to pull them two together, to hold them together. So if you've got a weakness there, that can then drop down, which causes the pelvis to tilt forward. Okay, and then you'll get Donald Duck syndrome. So your stomach will protrude forward and your butt will stick out, basically. Okay, so that's an anterior pelvic tilt. Now, when you get an anterior pelvic tilt, what is coupled with anterior pelvic tilt is when you tilt forward, as you see, my knees move. Okay, so if you've got an anterior pelvic tilt, it's going to be coupled with the femur. Okay, it's going to be get medial rotation. So basically, the femur is going to twist inwards slightly. Okay, so from here it's going to turn slightly inwards. Okay, so So when you're running, if you've got anterior pelvic tilt and your femur's turned in, medial rotation, then you're going to be producing an uneven pressure through your shins and up into your knees, and when you're landing and when you're running, your knees will actually slightly twist in towards each other. Every time you run, the knee will slightly twist rather than moving on a straight plane. It will twist, okay, and this is going to cause pain and a lot of extra pressure, because if you're, now if you can see, hopefully you can, if your knee is twisting this way slightly, you get an extra pressure running down the outside of the leg, okay, on your peroneals, by the way. They're called your peroneals, down the outside of your leg, the muscles that run down the outside of the leg. Now basically what this means is you're running with bad posture. Okay. Now there are a few different things you can do to help correct this. There are exercises like Pilates is really good. Pilates is all about the core strength. I can't remember what they call it in Pilates, but basically it's another word for the core and strengthening all the core. And another thing you can do which will help is perform something called the vacuum. When you're doing exercises such as squats, lunges, deadlifts, or any exercise that you're stood up, basically, you can perform what's called the vacuum, which will switch on the deep abdominal wall. Okay, so when you do the vacuum, all you're going to do is simply vacuum in your stomach. Okay, so I'm vacuuming in and I'm switching on the deep abdominal wall, and then I'm going to perform exercise, so I can do squats, vacuuming in and squatting, holding that vacuum. Okay, so this is then going to force the deep abdominal wall to engage while you're performing the exercise. Now, another reason can be that you have an imbalance in tightness in your legs. Now, you can get shin splints in both legs, or you can get it in just one leg. Okay, or you can get it really badly in one leg and just. So check if your feet are, if one's flatter than the other, and then have a look at your big toe. Is one of your big toes slightly turned in? Okay, so if that's big toe, is it slightly turned in rather than being straight? Now, if so, the possibility is that you have tight adductor on one side. The adductor is the muscle on the inside of the leg here, by the way, I hope you can see. That's the adductor. Okay, you might have a tight adductor on one side. Now if you've got a tight adductor, because the way that the body works in zigzags, it works in line. Okay, if you've got a tight adductor on one leg, you more than likely have a tight peroneal, and you more than likely have a tight gluteus medius. Okay, now to find out whether you have a tight gluteus medius, there's a very simple test to do. You're going to stand straight. Okay, you're going to stand completely straight up. You're going to raise one leg up as high as you can. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm going to raise one leg up as high as I can. Okay. Try, when you raise the leg up, keep the toes facing forward and try not to move the body. Okay, so as if there's a straight line, you're going to try and hold that line. You're not going to lean over with it. Okay, and then raise the other leg up, the other side. Exactly the same. Now, are you getting equal height each side, or is one raising up higher than the other? Now, if one's raising up higher than the other, then the side that isn't raising up as high, or you find harder to, you find more resistance, that's the side that's tight. Okay, now that's the side where you're more than likely to be getting the shin splints, and that's the side that you're going to have tight gluteus medius, adductors and peroneals. So what you're then going to need to do is you're then going to need to stretch the muscles that are tight. Okay, so you're going to stretch your adductors, stretch your glutes, or your medius glutes, gluteus medius, try and get it the right way around, and strengthen the muscles that are loose. Okay, so I would strengthen the muscles the opposite side. Okay. Now, how can you strengthen the gluteus medius? Is exactly the same way as I just showed you, exactly the same way as you test. Just doing the leg raise either side, okay, to strengthen that muscle. Now, if you've got one foot flatter than the other, then you're going to need to roll your feet. Okay, you can use a golf ball, you can use a rolling pin or a foam roller. Okay, you're going to roll your feet out. Okay, you're going to need to roll them for at least a minute each side, at least, and you're going to have to switch side to side, side to side. Okay, and you're going to have to do that at least. I mean, you're going to have to try and do it every day if you can, until it starts getting better, and then you can maybe knock it down to every second day, then every third day, and so on and so on. But you need to try and do it every day to start with, to get to the point where you can then start doing it less. Okay, and then start maintaining. So what you're going to do is you're going to foam roll your feet, and you're also going to foam roll your peroneals down the outside of your leg. Now hopefully this will help. Okay, now hopefully this will be enough to help. Now this is kind of long term. Okay, this is going to take you a little bit of time to start feeling the benefits. Okay, short term, what you can do is you can ice rub. Okay, so you get some ice cubes, get them in a bag, or if you can get some plastic cups. Get a plastic cup, fill the plastic cup up with water, put it in the freezer. Once it's frozen, you're then going to take it out. You're then going to cut the cup to about halfway down, take the plastic off. You're then going to take the ice and you're going to rub it. Hopefully you can see. You're going to rub it up and down the leg. So you're basically massaging your leg with ice. Okay. Now you can do this before and after your workout, and hopefully that'll be enough so that you can get through the workout without too much pain while you're doing the long-term stretches to help improve and help fix. Okay guys, now I hope this is enough. I hope I haven't confused you too much, and I hope this is enough to help you. If it's not, like I say, just message me with your specific shin splints and how they're affecting you specifically. Okay guys, catch you again.